To spark further design interest in the room, a unique ottoman was created using a 19th century silk kimono. The Japanese fabric is in direct contrast to the Italian fabric chosen for the skirt on the welcoming table. Throughout the main salon, one-of-a-kind antiques and traditional artwork, which are reflective of Madam Walker's day and style, are combined with contemporary and ethnic furnishings.
We wanted to give the house a historical, elegant feeling, but have some fun at the same time. I think we've given the room a bit of excitement by combining the very traditional look that would have been Madam Walker's look with something that appeals to people of today.
From the eclectic look of the main salon to Madam Walker's favorite room, the elegant music room. Just ahead, the transformation continues on Designing for History, the Madam Walker Show House. Madam Walker's home on the Hudson is full of firsts. She was the first self-made millionairess. She hired the first licensed black architect in New York to design her dream house. And today the home is owned by the first African American to hold a seat on the New York Stock Exchange. Harold Doley, like Madam Walker, has Louisiana roots and first saw Villa Lewaro in 1968 when he was 21 years old.
I saw Villa Lewaro 30 years ago when I was in training to be a stockbroker. I took a ride out one weekend on the train and walked around the villa. I did not come in. And I decided at that point that one day Villa Lewaro would be a part of my life and my family's life.
25 years after first seeing the house, Harold bought this historic home on the Hudson in 1993, becoming the first African-American owner of the house since Madam Walker. He and his wife Helena are trying to preserve history while making this mansion their home.
I think I realized from the beginning what a responsibility it was and was going to be to share this house with the community, and also a challenge in making the mansion a home for us all. I think I realized that probably more than Harold did.
While the main salon has undergone a complete interior design transformation, the elegant music room, or what's known as the Gold Room, looks much like it did in Madam Walker's day. This palatial 18 by 40 foot room is encrusted with gold leaf, and delicate paintings fill the ceiling and the walls. 24 pilasters surround the room, each topped off with a capital that is sparkling with French gold leaf. The center ceiling medallion is faux finished with an airy design, and a diamond pattern is painted on panels on each side. Hanging from the decorative ceiling are two lavish crystal chandeliers imported from Italy. These decorative light fixtures are original to Madam Walker's day. This glittering room was home for Madam Walker's most prized possession, an Este organ, which cost $25,000 before installation.
At the time, in 1918, an Este organ was really quite a status piece to have in your home. And Madam Walker wanted to make sure that her house had the best of everything. And when she ordered the organ, the people in Brattleboro, Vermont were quite happy to sell it to her. But when they shipped it to her, they shipped it in unmarked boxes. And the story is that they didn't really want anyone white to know that they were selling this beautiful organ to a black woman.
Although a cherished possession, the Este organ gave the architect a challenge: how to hide the pipes in these elegant surroundings.
Organ pipes are usually exposed in a room like that, but organ pipes would have been a little bit too Gothic, I think, for Tandy's taste in this particular case. And so he created an organ chest that had a wonderful grillage over it that matches all the opposing architecture in the room in symmetry and in style, complete with gold trim and everything else to go with it.
The music room is where Madam Walker's granddaughter was photographed at her 1923 $1 million wedding. 9,000 guests were on the invitation list, and the ceremony made headlines. Her daughter also entertained here often and was photographed in front of Madam Walker's ornately hand-carved grand piano. Today, designer Warren Kenneth Carter has restored the grandeur and luster of yesteryear. He's added more spark to this room by choosing a seating area alive with color.
The colors in the room came from the colors in the murals over the doors. That's how I arrived at using these reds and the jewel tones. If you take a look, the sofas and the little small Victorian chair, the colors are in the murals over the door. I played with a little silk. I played with some quilt. I played with some velvet, but it's all quiet and subtle, so it all like blends in. It won't jump out at you. You really have to go into the room and really stare it out. Everything is just flowing in the room.
3 of the 4 murals in the arches above the doorways are original to the music room. However, one of the murals was badly damaged, so Warren used computer technology and copied one of the scenes to create a new mural. Along the center walls, Warren added mirrors to create even more grandeur. And the 2 Louis XV chests are among his favorite pieces in the room.
The reason why I like these Bombay chests so much, they have so much detail to them. You could look at these pieces all day long and just come up with, there's gold on it, there's a little carvings on it, there's inlays. They're just a beautiful piece of furniture.
And it is above one of these chests that a sconce, original to Madam Walker's day, mysteriously turns itself on and off.
I was told by the owners of the house that every so often that one particular sconce might come on and stay on for maybe 3 or 4 days and then go off. And they like it. And I think it adds a little flavor to the room, too.
Many of the musical greats of Madam Walker's day spent time in this music room that she so treasured. And if she were alive today, no doubt Madam Walker would also adore the modern-day music salon which has been added during this design transformation. We'll talk with the designer when Designing for History, the Madam Walker Show House continues. One of the focal points in Madam C.J. Walker's grand mansion, as we've seen, is the music room. In her day, the SD organ pumped music throughout Madam Walker's home. And in a way, this incredible mansion was built around the organ to allow enough room in the walls for the organ's pipes and grills. But today, Madam Walker's home moves into the 21st century with the technology that has created a thoroughly modern music room. Designer Charles Pavarini III has brought new light to the turn-of-the-century concept of the music salon. Charles, this is a gorgeous room, but was there a special challenge in designing a modern room in a home with so much of a past?
I wanted to keep the original architecture of the room and to interface a modern feeling on top of that.
Well, what did you have when you started in this room?
There was nothing here except great moldings, great proportions, and a beautiful wood floor.
Well, there's an interesting geometry